Oh, dude, victory laps are something that I enjoy. Don't do very many of them, but let's start, man. Let's do it.
Let's start. So it was pretty controversial when we said that Jdub was better than Ant.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember getting blown up for that?
I think inside of the Oklahoma City Thunder community, I think I was called a moron,
Yeah,
and that
within
our
the
takes have to
community.
be the worst takes ever because of
Yeah,
it. So,
yeah.
I mean, I suffered because of it, no doubt.
Okay, but anyway, how do you feel about that now?
I listen. I will say this 100 times: is that I believe in Sam Presti more than I believe in the Timberwolves. And if you're an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, you're right there with me. What's up, Devin?
What's up,
You're
man?
right there with me. You understand what I'm saying. So if Sam Presti drafted Jdub,
Enough said.
I gotta go with it, man. Jdub is, in my opinion, one of those guys that we have no idea how good he's going to be. We can sit here, we can predict, but I can tell you this is that I've looked at the numbers in the first 4 years of Ant's play, and I gotta say I'm more impressed with Jdub's first of his first 2 years than I am with Ant. Even though Ant and him are the same age, I think a lot of maturity has to come with that, and we all know that late bloomers sometimes start off ugly, but by the time they're done, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I mean, like Jdub's 6 inches or 5 inches that he grew. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a last minute thing. So for me, it's just about growing into his body. So when push comes to shove, am I gonna pick Ant over Jdub? Hell no. I would.
Let me ask you this: who would you rather
uh,
shoot a three?
Oh, I mean, we're talking about one of the most efficient players in the league right now.
Okay.
Is
Who
Jdub?
would you rather
Like
play defense?
Ant's defense, I have to say this is incredibly physical, whereas Jdub's defense
But you're
is
talking
one
about
of
the
those type
guard.
of. Yeah, but you're talking about a Ant plays a guard position defender incredibly well, right? He doesn't play the small forward very well. He plays them physical, but he doesn't play them really well. But Jdub, he plays 1 through 4 better than anybody else I've seen in a long time. Like there's a couple guys in the league that are able to play 1 through 4 like he does, but not to the consistency level that Jdub is able to do so. So when you're talking about style of defense, like Ant is way more physical. He's going to be, one of those guys that's going to wear you down throughout a game. But Jdub's one of those guys that's going to frustrate you to no end. So pick your poison. Like sometimes a player that Ant is defending is just going to go off and just score a shit ton. And other times that player he's defending isn't going to be able to handle that physical play, and it's vice versa with Jdub. So it's just a coin flip on who's going to be more valuable in what game, and that's the
Nice.
thing. And that's the thing is Ant is being paid $200 and something million for his work, and you got to sit there and say, "Whoo, this is a true conversation now. This is a true conversation. Like for the first time, we're not the only ones saying it."
So who would you rather shoot free throws at the end of a game?
Dude, Jdub hit his.
That's
Jdub hit his. I mean, that's that. Like, and especially after all this bitching
oh
and
my
moaning
god, dude.
and complaining that Ant has been like, you just can't touch Shea when he gets to the lane,
Oh my
automatic
god.
foul.
Oh
And
my
this is
god.
what crazy about this, right?
My
I don't know
god,
the
dude.
exact number, bro. I don't know the exact number, but Shea has shot 26 or 27 free throws in the 3 games against them. Ant shot 29. So Ant shot more free throws than Shea, yet Ant is sitting there complaining. And let me tell you this. Why does that happen? It's because when the IQ for the game isn't up to par, you sit there and complain about something that you shouldn't be complaining about.
With IQ, bro. Well,
What else do you say? Like, why would you complain about the free throws when you've shot more free throws than him? Like, why? Why? Let me tell you why. Is because you're not looking at the game and saying anything else like, Shea's just a better player than I am. He just kicks my ass every single time we play him.
So he's basic.
Like, he just destroys me as a man. Like, that's what happens. All right? Stop talking about the fucking free throws, man.
You got one that plays the game with pure silky smooth freshness, baby. And you got one that tries to play like a bull in a vagina closet, dude. And like, I'm not saying which one is which, but I think you can tell. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, Steven had some nice things to say. You know, Ant's got a good body. He's got a real good body. Nice body. He really liked that body. Oh, but Shay doesn't have that body, bro. She's not fit like Ant, Dave. How much does that matter to you, Dave?
I gotta say this is that the new NBA is designed to protect these slender, thinner guys.
He's got that body.
If Ant wants to be that physical, crazy, psychotic defender out there, right? By all means, you can be. But he's going to spend a lot of time with suspension because you can't be physical in that aspect anymore. Like some guy goes up for a layup or a dunk, and Ant's going to come over and try to body him up and throw him to the ground. Like that shit's not okay anymore. So the physical aspect of what Ant's defensive game is and his offensive game is, it works to a certain extent. And you know what's crazy about it is that outside of Cat, that entire team is built with that type of mentality. Like, how close are they to always being able to foul out and so quickly? You know, like it goes boom, free throws in the first 2 minutes of a quarter.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they can't help themselves. You know, yes, they have cool pieces, they have nice pieces, but they're one psychotic break, you know, whatever you want to call it. Like when you're playing in an 82 game season, there's going to be people that have psychotic breaks, and there's going to be coaches that have psychotic breaks on their players, and there's going to be this and that on coaches, and you have to have an organization that's designed to protect the players, the coaches, the GMs, and everybody else like that. And I feel like the Timberwolves organization has been just blah. And the Thunder organization has been properly done. So the course of what's happening with the Oklahoma City Thunder, you got to stop and say, is it more healthy to play in the Oklahoma City Thunder organization? Yes. Are you going to be able to play an entire season without being injured? Possibly. If you don't have a freak injury, yes. You know, are you going to be able to get 3 or 4 extra years of playing because the Thunder are going to take care of you every single season? Yes. And on top of that, all I have to do is go play basketball. You know, think about all the shit that Ant's been in trouble and saying stuff, and like he got in trouble for, making a gay comment. You know, like he's been in trouble enough times now that you got to stop, and you got to wonder, you know, like, would you rather somebody that's what we would consider, you know, a prima donna head case, or would you rather somebody that has major swagger, that knows how to handle his shit and can shoot the ball like nobody's business?
You know,
tell me who would you rather.
One thing people didn't mention, I heard anyway last night, was didn't we see this all play out in FIBA?
Oh yeah, I mean, like we talked about it during FIBA, like we were talking about in the Australian game when we were getting live on. You know,
we're watching the game for the bronze medal, right? We get to see Shea go against Ant. I mean, wasn't this pretty much the conclusion there too? Like,
where like, but what's been the key factor in these games? In the Canada game, who did Ant have to go against?
It was Shea, bro.
Dort. He had to play against Dort, a physical defender that's in your face. Yes, a little bit smaller, but somebody that you can't fucking push around, right? And then again, last night, I mean, yes, you had the other finesse play when Dort came out of the game, and you saw Casey Wallace in the game, and you saw that. But I don't think it's a coincidence that, you know, Dort got a rest just before this game, because Coach knew how physical it was going to be, how hard it was going to be. So for me, this is it's all a mind game at this moment.
What's the Wolves' answer for Dort? They throw Shea's little cousin on him.
I know.
He's been punking since he was a kid, bro. They're like, oh yeah, you're the best guy. Look, I love Nickeil Alexander.
My better cousin. My bad, cuz I should have done that to you.
Our secret Shea stopper is his little brother. Like,
oh my gosh, dude.
Could you imagine, Dave, if we were playing against each other in high school and they sent me out to guard you because I was the one who's best suited to guard you? You'd be like, nah, I've been picking on you. Like, do you have any guys, just for the record, I'll put this on record. Do you have any points that I ever scored on Dave when we were playing one-on-one? 7. Okay.
No,
and they weren't all in the same game, dude. No, they weren't all in the same game.
More, dude.
Dude, you wouldn't even give me a bucket. Bro, that's what I'm just saying about Shea and Nickeil Alexander Walker. Like, I bet he scored on him so few times.
Like, no, you're right.
and Shea scores on him every time when they play because he knows how. And it's like, oh, now he's going to play really intense. Oh, here comes the intense version of Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
But Shea, it's Shea. We had 1 minute, 17 seconds. Shea's bringing up the ball. I mean, he's got a good defender on him. He doesn't got a chump defender on him. It was either, I think it was Chase, or it was Daniels, or I don't remember,
or whatever.
It was one of those.
To that deep step back, bro.
And he goes straight the deep step back, and it was just like, it was slow motion. You can watch it 100 times, and it's so silky smooth. And it was just like, Shea's like, okay, I'm done playing. Game over. You know, like we've seen this happen before with Shea, but like Shea was like, I feel like was like just tooling with him, like, you know, like, here's a little bit of bread, you know, here's some fishies, here you go, some wolf, here, have some of this, some meat, wolves, there you go, and then I'm gonna rip that back from you, motherfucker, and I'm taking that. And that's what he did. He just, like, at the end of the game, like, it was just like so incredibly smooth. He just decided, like, I'm just done playing this game. Game over.
Dude.
And it was sick, bro.
It was sick. And it was a deficit. And we talk about this a lot. Our third quarter, second half of third quarters, they're atrocious right now. And coach is trying to figure this out just as much as we are. But earlier in the season, it was the first quarter. Earlier in the season, it was the beginning of the fourth quarter. That was really a struggle for us when Shea was first sitting. Both of those times,
Jdub was learning his role at that point. You know,
it took him look 20 at our games strongest 2 points in a game right now, Dave. We are smashing in the first quarter, and we're coming out and we're smashing in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and it's giving Shea what he needs. But there are moments in between where, like, hey, we got to figure this out, and this is going to go back and forth. It's never going to be like, oh, you have all 4 quarters figured out, because teams will figure out stuff. One of the things teams that have figured out
different matchups
is zones. They figured out that if you put a team in a really, really solid 2-3, that 2-3 can force us into shooting a lot of jumpers in places that we're not comfortable, because the length of the 2-3 can create all sorts of issues. And one thing that I've noticed is, like, we've really found a coach who can coach X's and O's into successful environments of that. But since one team had success, it became really a trend to guard us with, you know, throw a couple defenses, but show them that 2-3 anytime that you're in these certain moments. Like,